Maury! Maury! Professor Maury, come quickly!
What the deuce do you want, man? Can't you see I'm busy?
I know you are, Maury. I wouldn't interrupt you if I didn't think it was important.
Well, all right, man. Out with it. What is it?
Maury, the workmen have found something.
It's remarkable. The workmen have found something. That's remarkable. Now, what the devil do you think we're here for except to find something?
No, this is something you have to see, Maury.
Oh, all right.
There it is, Maury. It's a hand. A human hand.
Well, hand me that trowel.
No, that's all right. I can break it away. Yeah, the rock just seems to fall away from it. That's the way they found it. Didn't you, Pablo? He just stepped up here on the promontory and the rock fell away, just popped off like a peanut shell. Say, isn't this the same strata that we took the reptile fossil from?
Good Lord, you've been here. You're a geologist, don't you know, man?
Of course, I'm just a little excited, Maury, that's all. Maury, you suppose the whole body's here? How could it be? How could anyone bury a body in this rock? And Maury, this must be a... Oh, will you shut up?
Henderson. Yeah. Get them to work removing this thing here, and be sure they get plenty of rock with it. Here. Vámonos, muchachos. Tell them to start right here, you understand? Take it easy.
No.
What's the matter with them? They're scared. They think it's a devil. Un diablo. Stupid, idiotic pigs. Well, tell them it's a very dead devil that can't hurt them. El diablo muerte. All right. Pronto. Pronto. Bravo.
Going to be at the site, John?
Oh, no more than a few days. Maury called last night and said they expected to finish up the excavation work sometime today.
Oh, did it go well?
Oh, evidently quite well. Maury seemed very excited. They extracted some beautiful specimens, remarkably well-preserved fossils, especially the Cretaceous. But he thought I should be there for the wind-up of things. Fine field and research man, but he's woefully disinterested in the humdrum. You know, crating, stenciling, cataloging, and the like.
Probably gives him an excuse not to bathe. Not that I've ever noticed he needed an excuse to avoid that civilized ritual.
Now, Ford, he's a dedicated man. Brilliant talents, enormous energies.
I wish he'd channel some of those energies into his relationship with his fellow man.
Ah, I suspect you've received the Maury treatment, too.
Too? Continually. Why, confound it, I've met the fellow a dozen times and have had to introduce myself to him every blasted time. Now, I ask you, John, is Barston such an easily forgotten name?
Well, I can't say for the Barston name, but certainly not the Barston physique.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing at all, Ford. Have another drink.
I haven't finished this one yet.
Fine. You were saying?
Oh, yes, Maury. Why, do you know that when I speak to him, pleasantly, mind you, the fellow just grunts and looks away. He won't even look at me.
Well, diplomacy certainly isn't his long suit. That's true.
No, I should think not. Lord knows I've had enough experience dealing with you scientific ducks to endure all varieties of abnormal behavior. But this is the first one I've encountered that seems to have the lack of power of speech. Some of you have difficulty communicating, all right, but most of you can muster a hello or a goodbye. Not necessarily at the appropriate time, I might add.
Now who's being facetious?
Well, I only hope some of his bad manners haven't rubbed off on young, what's his name, the fellow that's with him.
Randall. Creighton Randall.
Yes, Randall, that's it. Now, there's a young man that impressed me. A very bright, very pleasant chap.
He's very personable, and he can learn a lot from Maury, especially in the field.
I just can't see how you place all that faith in him, John. Confound it, I like a man who can look me dead in the eye. You can tell what sort of a fellow that type of man is, but this furtive, shifty acting type is...
And that, Mr. Barston, is why you retain me. I do it, then you don't have to. Oh, come on, Ford, don't sit there smoldering. As soon as we get back, I'll start Professor Maury on a crash refresher program on the handling and ego-nourishing of the museum's board of directors. Specifically, its chairman, one Ford R. Barston III. Or is it the fourth? Now, confound it, John, now you're making me seem pompous. Ford, you are pompous.
I, pompous? Well, by Godfrey, I don't know if I appreciate that. I've never felt that I was overly impressed with my importance. In fact, if anything, I feel...
Are we interrupting anything?
Yes, thank heaven. Ford was about to soar into a discourse on one of his many virtues, I think.
At least I ask you, how do you tolerate this fellow?
I have no choice, Mr. Barston. That's the curse of being a younger sister. I try to bear the stigma as gracefully as possible.
Well, I'm glad to see that at last there's someone in the world besides me who can see behind the mask of respectability the scoundrel wears. Good for you, Elise.
Assassins, you're both assassins. Ford, have you met my assistant, Paul Benson?
I met Mr. Barston at the Marshall Foundation tea. It's good to see you again, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. Good to see you,
Benson.
I know his name, confound it. Yes, good to see you again, Benson. Real pleasure.
Everything ready to go, Elise?
As you commanded, sire. Bags packed. Here are the plane tickets, and the car outside to take you to the airport.
You're a very efficient young lady, Elise. Very efficient. It's a good thing you are, because what are you all staring at me for?
Why, you were telling me you were the expert on the vagaries of behavior of scientific ducks like me. Don't you know? We're ready to go.
But I haven't finished my drink yet.
Generosity is my finest virtue, Ford. You may take it with you.
You see what I mean, Elise?
I do. He's incorrigible.
Ford.
Oh, all right, but I won't take your blasted drink with me.
Good. It's high in calories anyway. Let's see if I have everything. Papers in the briefcase. Airplane tickets in my pocket.
Luggage in the car. Come on. The plane leaves at 2:30, and it's 2 right now.
Oh, all right. Just a minute.
Well, confound it, you rushed me through my drink, and now you aren't even sure you're ready.
Come on, brother dear. You have everything.
All right, all right. Oh, Benson. Say, if you get the opportunity down there, see if you could arrange to have this abomination of a museum director deposited in some nice deep hole, will you? He needs it.
Be careful, you idiots. Don't drop that. I don't want that tarp to fall off. Hey, Henderson, here. Take this table, bring it in. Easy. Don't drop it, you idiots. Easy. All right, Henderson, get him out of here.
Okay, hombres. Vámonos.
Henderson,
Yeah.
take him back to town and pay him off.
What about the crating and the loading?
Look, you just do as you're told. Now, Randall and I will take care of the crating. You just get your truck back here the day after tomorrow morning. You understand?
You're the boss.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Is that thing a man?
Yes, it seems to be some sort of a primitive man. It's nothing out of the ordinary, though. You know, mummies are being excavated from this part of the Southwest every day from Indian burial mounds. You know that.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back day after tomorrow morning, as early as possible.
All right, hombres. Hola.
Still watching? The Beast will return. Listen to why America is switching to comfort with a Niagara revolutionary recliner.
I really love my chair.
It's terrific. It's great.
You can be saying the same, and all you have to do is call now for a free value pack brochure. Call now 1-800-331-1005 and find out how you can experience fast, gentle heat and therapeutic action. The easy-to-use therapeutic comfort controls can send soothing relief directly to those areas that need it most. The patented Niagara revolutionary recliner is scientifically designed to help you feel great all over. Those aches and pains and tension fatigue just disappear. The Niagara revolutionary recliners are available in a wide variety of styles and colors, sure to enhance any decor. All you have to do is just call right now, 1-800-331-1005 for a free value pack brochure. There's no obligation to buy. Switch to Niagara Comfort and you'll say,
It's terrific.
For Niagara Comfort, call 1-800-331-1005.
They're leaving.
Good.
Why'd you let them go, Maury?
Why not?
Well, I mean, all the work we've got left, the inventory, the crating.
You afraid you're going to have to do your share of the work now?
Hardly fair.
Well, Crawford and Benson will be here at the site anyway. The four of us can certainly handle it. Look, we can't know the full significance of this yet, but I don't want to run the risk of those workmen babbling about it in town. You heard them. Un diablo, a devil. Those superstitious fools.
Does it really matter if they do?
Are you questioning my decision?
No.
Then do me a favor and shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. What time are we to meet their plane?
My watch is stopped. What time do you have?
It's 4:15.
Well, I'd better go then. The plane's due at 5:30.
Don't you want me to go, too?
Well, of course not. We can't leave this thing unguarded. You'd better stay here.
Oh, you're right. Maury, won't Crawford be elated when he sees our discovery?
Yes, I'm sure he will. But while I'm gone, Randall, why don't you see if you can remove some more of this rock? It doesn't seem to be adhering to the flesh. Shouldn't be too difficult. Here. Light this. Get a bit of light.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Good. Well, I'd better go.
Yes, you'd better. I'll see y'all later.
Dr. Crawford, Benson, over here. Bernie, it's good to see you.
I'm sorry our plane was late. Did we keep you waiting long?
No, not at all, not at all. Good to see you, Doctor. Benson.
Bernie? Say, this Texas sun must really agree with you. You're as brown as a berry.
Yes, well, there you are. Oh, I got you a motel on the edge of town. There's a good restaurant there, as good as any in town.
Well, I thought we were going to stay at the site, Bernie.
Well, you could, but we've been roughing it pretty much recently. You know, small tent, a couple of cots, and it'll be dark before long. Oh, I thought maybe after your long trip you'd like a little more comfort than our camp affords. I can pick you up first thing in the morning.
Well, perhaps you're right. Randall stay at the site?
Yes, he thought it'd be best.
Guarding the treasures, huh?
Yes, you might say that. I think you're going to be very impressed with the specimen, Doctor.
Well, I'm sure I will, Bernie, but I must confess I was looking forward to seeing them this evening.
Well, you forced me to admit something, Doctor. You know me. I've kept myself and Randall so busy with the excavating that, well, I'm afraid the details, the cataloging, is pretty much of a mess. Matter of fact, that's why Randall stayed, to try to get some order into it. I know, Doctor. You've told me before. Detail work certainly isn't my strong point.
True enough, Bernie, but you know that makes no difference to us.
Please, Doctor, indulge me in this. I desperately want you both to be impressed.
Well, I have to admit, a good meal and a night's sleep sound just fine to me. Let's go pick up the luggage.
Oh, Maury, you're back. Where are Benson and Crawford?
They decided to stay in town. Tired, I guess. I'll pick them up in the morning. You've made good progress.
Yes, you were right. The shale literally falls away from it. Oh, that's odd. I would have thought Crawford would have been hard to restrain after you told him about finding the body.
Oh, you got any coffee made? I haven't eaten yet.
On the camp stove.
You did tell him, didn't you?
No.
For God's sake, why not?
I wanted to surprise him. I wanted him to see the body after we had it completely extricated. And we'd better get at it if we're going to get it done.
What are you staring at me for?
Nothing, Maury. Nothing at all. I just can't figure you out. I would have been bursting to tell Crawford about our discovery if I were you.
Fortunately for me, you're not. Now, let's get to work.
How old do you figure, Bernie? How old?
Well, it's hard to say exactly. The scintillometer tells us that according to the carbon atom deterioration, his age is in excess of several million years. Now, couple that with the strata in which we found him, and I'd say, 60 million years.
60 million? Fantastic. But how? Did that charred bit of flesh we took from the scalp been burned at a later date?
Through 12 feet of shale?
Then he must be that old, Marty. I checked the scintillometer only yesterday, and it's working perfectly. Imagine a man. A perfect Neanderthal type. Living right in the middle of the reptilian age. Well, you know what this means? This fellow knocks every accepted evolutionary theory into a cocked hat.
I'm well aware of it.
But what could have preserved the body like this? The hair, the sinew. Look, there's even whisker stubble on the chin.
Chemicals in the shale, I'd imagine.
What about this laceration on the skull cap?
Well, I thought at first he must have struck his head, or been struck on the head. But that charred flesh around the wound would seem to indicate otherwise. And notice the constriction of the muscles in the extremities, as though he'd sustained some severe electrical shock. Now, this is only a guess, but it could be that he was caught out in some primordial thunderstorm and was struck by a bolt of lightning, right here on the top of his head.
Electrocuted. That must be it, Maury. He was electrocuted, and somehow, only God knows, the body remained preserved. Now, judging from the shell crayfish that we took from the rock, he must have fallen into a swamp, and the body remained intact. Perfectly intact. Well, we spent a good part of the night. It's 2:15.
Yes, we'd better get some sleep. I promised Crawford we'd pick them up early this morning.
You know, I can hardly wait for Dr. Crawford's reaction when he sees our reptile man.
He's not going to see him.
What do you mean he's not going to see him?
Exactly that. We're not going to tell him we found it.
Why, Maury? Why?
Good Lord, man, don't you grasp the significance of this? That corpse is going to revise all scientific thinking as to man's first hour on the evolutionary timetable. Darwin be damned, Randall. This is going to be the new anthropology.
Oh, of course I get the significance of it, Maury, but why keep it a secret?
You're a naive fool, Randall. This thing's importance demands more than its gathering dust in some dark museum alcove. It's worth a fortune.
How?
Exhibit it.
Exhibit it? Like a carnival freak? The Javanese merman and a bottle of alcohol, the two-headed boy? Is that what you want? We're scientists, Maury, not cheap con men. Besides, it's not ours to do with what we want.
We found it, didn't we? We broke our backs these months in that abominable heat. We've earned it, Randall.
Well, you can count me out. I want no part of it.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm not going to tell Dr. Crawford about this conversation. But I am going to tell him that we found it.
No, you're not, Randall.
I'm not. Listen. I've put up with you these months because you're the head of this expedition, but not any longer. I'm sick of your chin god tactics, Maury. I'm fed up right to here. You're not roping me into this insane plot, and you're not telling me what to do.
I think you will, Randall. You see, I know about that incident in California. The affair with the Morrison girl.
How did you find out?
So I make it my business to find out as much as possible about the museum personnel.
Well, go ahead and tell Dr. Crawford if you want to. I don't think he'd let it jeopardize my position now.
Oh, of course not. Not dear, understanding Dr. Crawford. But I doubt if the board of directors would be as understanding of your indiscretion, shall we call it, if they were to find out. Museum reputation, you know.
All right, Maury, have it your own way.
Don't worry, Randall. I've got it all planned out. Now, we crate up the body before I pick up Crawford. We fake it as tools or something on the inventory list. Now, I know Crawford. He'll be so engrossed in his fossils that he won't pay any attention at all. Then, when we get back to Farnfield, we make sure that we drop it off at the warehouse unopened.
Then what?
Then, a little later, you and I take a field trip on our own. And that's when we discover it. No museum affiliations, all on our own.
I don't know.
It'll work, Randall. And you and I are going to make the greatest scientific discovery in history. Just the two of us.
Wrong there, Professor. There's going to be 3 of us.
Big rigs are coming to Wichita. United Sports present the Coors Motor Spectacular. It's here tonight and tomorrow night at 8 at Kansas Coliseum. We're going to turn the floor into a giant mud pit for the Hot Rod Truck Mud Racing Fall Nationals. Modified and super modified top fuel mud racers competing for the world's record. Same like 3-wheel ATVs racing on a tough TT track. The best show truck and the dash for cash. The Ford versus Chevy tug of war. And the world famous wheel standing monster car crusher Taurus. You can hold your ears, Wichita, but you can't stop the rumble.
Well, I guess that's everything except for the body and the specimen. Well, I'd better be going. Henderson, help Randall crate up the body, will you? Unless that runs contrary to your newly acquired status.
Well, I'm just along for the ride. You can call the shots.
You sure you label that crate tool? I will. Walk to the car with me. Looks like rain filling up on there. Well, be sure you've got the tarp on tight. Look, do you have a gun? What in the world for? Here. Take this. Henderson's up to something. He's been acting too cooperatively. You know, the stakes are too high in this for him to be botched up by him. So take this and put it in your shirt and use it if you have to. Go ahead, take it, put it in your shirt. It won't burn you. Be sure you get that body crated up. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I heard.
All right, I'll be back by noon.
What's so amusing?
I just wondering if you was planning on using it.
What in the world are you talking about?
That gun Mari gave you. Yeah, the way that devil-dealing rat had figured it.
You're hardly the person to be calling him names.
Why not? You see, Randall, the only difference between you and me is I don't pretend to be nothing but what I am. You guys put up the front, big brains. Still, here inside, you ain't one bit better than me.
Ah, you're right. We're all rotten.
Yeah, that's where I got you, Randall. You got a conscience. It's going to dog you all through this business.
Will you shut up?
Randall, if you and me was real smart, we'd crate that thing up right now and get out of here before Maury ever get back.
In this rain.
Okay, so that's long. Why, this time of year, these gully washers go out just as fast as they come in. They'll be gone in another quarter hour. Why bring them in? Why shouldn't we cut that weasel out? What are you going to say? For lead 5 cents, he ain't. He likes his skin too much to do that.
No, I'm sick of this mess. Now listen. Maury told me to use this if I have to. So don't push me, Henderson. By heaven, I will use it if you give me any trouble.
You would? I believe you would. You're that scared.
Yes, I'm scared. And I'll use this if I have to. Now, come on. Get in that tent and let's get that corpse crated. Where are the workmen? going? Oh, we let them go yesterday. Have a little surprise for you. We crated all the tools yesterday and loaded them before we picked you up this morning, all ready to go.
Well, I'm elated, Bernie. The specimens are still unpacked.
Oh, yes, of course. We've got them tagged, but I thought you'd want to see them first.
Who's that by the truck? That isn't Randall.
No, that's Henderson, Pug Henderson. He was foreman of the work gang. That's his truck. We kept him on to help with the loading.
Get Randall. Henderson! Good Lord! How in the world?
Randall. Must have been Randall.
Paul, get a tarp and cover this poor fellow.
Yes, sir.
Where's Randall? Randall? This tent hasn't been struck. It's been torn down. It looks like a tornado's come through here.
Randall! Randall!
Professor Moore!
There's someone over there. Randall, what happened to Henderson, man?
Clayton, listen to us. He seems to be suffering from shock. We've got to get him to a doctor right away.
Clayton, come on.
Clayton, come with us.
Wait for me. Don't come near me. It's gonna be buried, you hear me?
Why, you blind fool, you should have known. Shut up and listen. You saw Henderson, didn't you? That's what it can do, Maury. That's what it can do.
What does he mean, it?
Randall, did you kill Henderson?
No, you idiot. Didn't you hear me? It did. We never should have taken him from the earth, Maury. It's against nature. Gotta bury it again, Maury. God, we don't. It'll kill us all. We gotta bury it, Maury. Bury it deep.
What's he talking about?
Randall, listen to me, Randall. What did you do with the corpse?
Maury, don't you understand? It's got to be buried. It did it. It did it. You think I'm crazy, don't you? But you gotta believe me, Maury. It's gotta be buried.
Where is the body?
Over there, where he fell.
Is that what Randall was talking about?
Yes. Good Lord, Bernie, it looks like a... Now, go ahead, say it. You'd be right. It's the body of a prehistoric man. And fantastic as it seems, we took it from the same strata as the reptile bone.
He's dead now. And we've got to get it back in the ground, do you hear?
We will, Randall, we will. But you need medical attention.
No, it's got to be buried.
I promise you, Randall, we will bury it. Maury and I will bury it for you, I promise. Now, will you go to town with Paul, please? Good. And Paul, get in touch with the sheriff as soon as you get to town.
All right. Come on, Creighton. They'll take care of it. Come on.
You said you removed this corpse from the same deposits as the dinosaur fossils, Maury. Are you suggesting that this body is that old?
I'm not suggesting anything, Doctor. I'm stating a fact. Now, look here. You see that ruptured flesh on the cranium?
Yeah.
The charred area? Well, Randall and I ran carbon-14 tests on a bit of it. The atomic disintegration indicates its age in excess of several million years.
Impossible.
Improbable. Not impossible, Doctor.
Could there have been a malfunction in the scintillometer?
No. We checked it thoroughly. And look here, Doctor. He's a comparatively advanced representative of human evolution. I've noticed the location of where the spine joins the skull. The pronounced evidence of a chin.
Near Neanderthal type.
Yes, that's what I thought.
But why? Why is the corpse in such an amazingly excellent state of preservation? Anything that ancient should be a mass of broken, petrified bones. And if not that, at least mummified.
Why, these muscles are supple. Its skin is spongy, almost like living tissue.
Well, there must have been some chemical properties of the shale that... Well, that's odd.
Yes, most odd.
No, I mean, when we discovered this body yesterday, the limbs were rigid. Those muscles were all constricted. But now they're completely relaxed.
You found it yesterday? Well, undoubtedly, the body is starting to deteriorate. We should get it into some sort of refrigeration as soon as possible.
Yes, by all means.